Children of Morta was developed by Dead Mage Incorporated, known
fuck is this?
for Wizard of Legend 2, and published by 11-Bit Studios, known for This War of Mine, Frostpunk 1 and 2, Moonlighter 1 and 2, Indica, and others. It was released for PC in September of 2019, PS4 and Xbox One in October of 2019, and the Switch in November of 2019. It has a Metascore of 82 with a user score of 7.9 as of right now. As for the story, thank goodness for fandom wikis. A direct quote. The Bergson family has watched over Mount Morta for generations as the guardians of the mystical mountain. They now face their most dangerous trial as a family. Corruption has spread, morphing the once peaceful mountain into a violent and monster-infested nightmare. After playing, all I walked away with was Bergson family and corruption. Where's the corruption coming from? What caused it to start and to spread? Dunno. Why are the Bergsons all alone in their fight against it? Couldn't tell you. What even pushes back against the corruption? It's a great question. All I know is that I gotta jump down the hole and fight a lot of bad guys to free the 3 spirits, and that'll lead me to the final boss fight. However, I will say I was really surprised by the amount of story bits that were in between each run. Picture Hades. After most runs, there's some new interaction you can have with other characters in the hub to tell a little bit of story in between each run. I'm pretty sure I remember some returns in that game where there wasn't really anything to do, probably because I died a lot and just kind of ran through all the extra bits. But in this game, it was full-fledged cutscenes in between every single run. I didn't run out of them in my playtime, and I find that quite impressive. There was also a lot of, family emotional beats, but not in a bad way. It's not the furious Fast 5 shit family. It's
Corona beer.
It's actually good. The family sticks together through the hard times shit. It was good.
That's what Fast and Furious is about.
Not.
It's about the family.
Fast and Furious is a fucking meme. This hits emotional beats and is good. For visuals, is it possible to describe this game as high-def pixel art without sounding stupid?
Judging by the sprites I just witnessed, no, that seems accurate.
Because that's what it is. It's made to evoke the feeling of older games with its pixel art, but there are so many pixels. There's no way this could run on old hardware that the art style is evoking. Of all the opinions I saw online, that was resoundingly this game's strength. It is just really, really good looking. The overall visual style is really colorful too. It's just so nice to look at. With this being an ARPG style roguelike, I never lost my character in the fray of battle. Markers are used very well to help keep the character distinct from all the action. And the marker is also really good at telling you useful information. You have 2 bars on the marker to tell you how many rolls you have, dodge rolls, and that slowly refills. So when you find your character, you know how many dodge rolls you have left or how close you are to another one or whatever. So it's part of interacting the HUD with gameplay and whatever. I don't know. It was good. Shit, I skipped sound design again. I could just cut this from the fucking form I use. It was really good. It was, there were good tells in combat of especially later in the game, that, an enemy was about to bomb me and that now is the time to dodge away before the bomb falls on my head. Or, enemies snarl as they're jumping with their claws out to scratch me or whatever. So there's a lot of good tells, so that even if I'm not looking at my character, I can hear, oh shit, I need to dodge away. The level progression, I guess, unfolds like you have to stand on a little a rock that sinks into the floor to open the door, and that makes a good ka-chunk as it's like shaking the door loose and opening it. I don't really remember much music. I know there is some. The narrator is excellent. He sounds like a wise old man reading from a storybook. Nice sound design. Gameplay. There are 7 playable characters. So you have the warrior. He has a sword and shield. An archer, obvious. An assassin who has daggers. A monk who uses his fists. A pyromancer who uses fast, like, small spells. She uses, like, fireball, but they're like pew 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 pew. A brawler who uses a warhammer, but not the warhammer, not the 40k Space Marine one, but just like a regular big maul. And a healer who is, I was surprised was called the healer, because they are also using spells, but they're slower and like wider arcs. That was the one I used the most. There are character skill trees. As far as I remember, there's no like build really. You have 3 abilities, and the further you level up, the more those abilities obviously get better, but they also get more flavor. So like, I don't know. I don't have a specific example, but like if a spellcaster casts if the assassin casts smoke bomb, then later in the skill tree that smoke bomb poisons enemies or that type of shit. It was interesting, as you level up each character, that character has universal skills that affect other characters. So if you have a max character, that character has 4 skills that help you as you're playing as a different character. It's not even a co-op thing. It's just like you want to level up every single character so that you have all those universal perks. And that was really cool. This game plays really well with a controller. I think it was designed for that. Like I said, there's no build options. It's just like you unlock the right trigger, the right bumper, and the special attack, and those just get stronger the higher level you get with your character. Per roguelike gameplay, the map is randomized, but it felt comfortably predictable after a while. That's not a negative. I could just suss out how a map would unfold after I'd played for 8 hours. It was annoying to have to step on the button to open the door to more of the level, because it low-key felt like a loading screen, and that's not great when you're trying to speed run through a level, just like trying to clean up achievements or whatever else. I was just trying to run through, and it's like, come on, I just want to go. It was also kind of frustrating because there was no real way to feel like where the actual exit was. It was like I would find 3 doors, one on top, one on the far right, and one at the bottom, and I would like open up all 3, and I was trying to explore and like find all the extra story bits hidden in this certain level, or like more pickups or whatever, and it's like, fuck, that's the exit, and then I have to backtrack through what I just came through. And so typical roguelike complaints, like that's normal for everything. There are pickups, including offensive or defensive tools, including like you could pick up a little robot that follows you around and shoots little pew-pews at bad guys. There are totems that you can pick up, and you like throw them in the ground, and you get a bubble that buffs you with different things. There are one-time use items, so it was like, I don't know, a treasure chest that gives you 3 gems right there that you just break open, or it would give you, it would re-roll your passive items, or there were all kinds of just like one-time use things. You press down on the D-pad to crack it and see what happens. And then there were also the items that give you passive abilities and buffs, and these 3 things are randomized. So like the permanent tools, the crackables, and the passives. And they were all randomized every level. A complaint I saw online that I strongly agree with, it just helped me put words to it, was like typical gameplay was just kiting enemies. You'd run in, like aggro a couple of guys, and then back up into safety, and like just keep doing that. There were a couple of times where I got annoyed and just like ran circles. Like there were some characters where I could do that, and just like eventually my ult would build up and I'd nuke them. But it was, I don't know, it depended on what I was doing a run for. But for most of the gameplay, like before you level up, before you get comfortable with a play style, you have to play really slow and careful. I have a feeling it's different in co-op, because then you have those universal buffs or perks or whatever that help each other. It feels really, really built for co-op, and like that's probably where you get some build choices too, of like, oh, you're picking the sword and shield guy, I'll pick the monk or whatever, and we can just hide in this bubble and like whatever. But playing solo, you gotta be slow and methodical for most of it. There's a sickness that you get when you play as the same character for too long. They get sick, which kind of debuffs them. I think it was like a little less health and a little less movement speed. So it was still possible to play as them with like a little bit of sickness, but it got progressively worse the more you played. And that sounds like mobile phone gacha gimmicks, but there's no real life money involved with this. There were pickups where you could use it on the character and make them all better and keep playing as them. And I never had a problem with that, with having enough of those, but I also was just like, I took the encouragement to play as other characters and buff up their stats too, like keep everybody on par at the same-ish level. But it was just an interesting gameplay design to like, hey, you've been soloing this character for quite a while, like move on to somebody else. Like at the very least, just level somebody else up more so that you get those universal perks at the very least. But it also encouraged you to like learn different gameplay styles. So it was cool. It was possible to get buffs by feeding your animals at home. You pick up like food treats, and you have like 5 different animals that you can feed the treats to, and it would give you like faster movement speed or higher critical chance or more gold that you would pick up in your run. And it wasn't much, it was only like 3% or whatever, but it was still like, all right, I'm just like grinding this character, I'm gonna feed some treats to the pet that gives me more experience on this one run that I've already beat this level a whole bunch of times, I know how it goes, I'm just trying to grind this character up higher. So that was cool. There are upgrades for character stats in one section and for like world stats in another section. There's 2 different upgrade trees in that regard. So the character stats are, again, higher damage, higher health, higher crit chance, blah, 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 all this usual stuff. And the other one, the world one, was like you pick up more gold overall. Like that doesn't go away, it's just a permanent upgrade. Or you gain more experience. And I don't know, that was cool. I felt like it was easier than Hades. Hades felt very slow in the universal upgrades, at least in my playthrough. Maybe I just sucked, but this was like, I leveled up more gold first, and then I leveled up more experience after that. So like the more gold helped me level these things up faster, and then the more experience level up my characters better, which made runs easier, and that's how I beat the game. So I don't know, it just snowballed the more I played in a really comfortable way. There are cool little side story bits in the home base. So after every run, you obviously have the cutscene telling you about like the corruption spreading or whatever. There's like little interactions with family, but then like you can kind of look around the house where all the characters you play as are just chilling. They're like reading a book or like chasing the cat or whatever, and like nice little story beats of like dad found kid practicing with the bow and taught them a good lesson about shooting zombies in the head. I don't know. It was cool. Little bits. The difficulty was weird. It was very difficult to begin with. Like I was talking about with the kiting, like just trying to learn how to play the game, but I had it on hard to begin with because I like the ARPG gameplay. I play a lot of it in different games, and had to knock it down to normal like pretty soon into the game. But even that was like, oh wow, I gotta go grind some, because this is like I'm way under level for this. Again, I think it's built for co-op. It was not a simple solo experience. But that's fine. Like I still beat the game, so like it's possible. It just didn't feel balanced as well for solo play. There are 3 worlds, and I'm pretty confident each of those had 3 sections to them, and the 3 sections felt the same across each of them in their own world. So each world feels distinct, but the 3 sections inside of them all feel the same, with different bosses at the end. So you have like the underground, the desert, and the city, I think. I think those were the 3 terrains. So it was kind of boring, I guess, or like there wasn't much there for world design, for like the aesthetic. It's not like Diablo's much better. You always get the swamp, the city, the desert, hell. So it's not like, I don't know, but those at least have 5 acts. So 5 different flavors, whereas this one has 3. I don't know, whatever. In closing, it turns out there was a DLC that was released. It adds animals and animal shelters to the home. You can build like little dog houses for stray pets or whatever. And all the proceeds for this DLC went to the Humane Society International. So the best stat I found about this was by the company. They posted on Reddit 5 years ago claiming that this DLC raised $130,000 for the charity. So that's super cool. I don't know. It was a fun little roguelike ARPG. Like, it looks gorgeous. It was fun to play. It was short. I think I put 8 or 10 hours into it. So it was like, it was short and sweet.
You've convinced me to put it on my list. I went and put it on my to-buy list for Xbox.
It's always kicking around, too. It's one of those, like, always on Game Pass or always, like, $5 on every sale. Like, it's just one of those slow burners that's always there. And you're like, yeah, I'll get to that. And it's good.
A sub $25, like, base price is already good enough for me anyways. Like,
yeah.
That's reasonable.
Like, $5 for 10 hours of gameplay.
Yeah.
Easy sell.
Look, does look quite shiny.
It's gorgeous.
It looks cool. I want it. I might have to bump that up to. I might need another roguelike in a little bit to replace my current roguelike once I get a little tired of it.
It won't hold up to that one.
It doesn't sound like it, but I think I might just need. I might just need to put some actual effort into looking through them and finding ones that actually appeal to me instead of just saying I don't like this gameplay type, because clearly that's not true.
What we're talking around is bro put 40 hours into Cult of the Lamb in the last week.
20, but yeah, over like a couple.
This is my story.
A couple of sessions, I'm properly addicted to it. Like I want to play it right now.
Yep.
I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about my poor followers. I'm not there right now. They're getting tired and hungry without me. And I didn't.
They need spiritual guidance.
They really do. I need to get my daily.
One of them needs to be sacrificed.
He wants me to sacrifice him. He asked me to do it. I will do it.
After you give him a present.
Nah. No, you don't get presents back once they hit old age. I found that out the hard way. I was like, oh shit. Like you can give them the necklaces and whatever, and then when they hit old age, you can't take it away. And if they die, you don't get it back. So like you gotta keep track of their age so you can keep track of those and take it back. It'll drop their points down minimally if you take it away, but like there's only a limited amount of those in the world. I need those.
That's what's cool about the game is like it makes you the skeevy cult leader to show you how skeevy cults are.
It's so funny too because it does have so much charm and like general goofy gooberness to it. I mean, they all go sacrifice me, great leader. But it's like, oh god, that's horrifying. I just dragged a body and put him in a hole.
Yeah.
And then I had a funeral, and now I'm getting devotion juices out of his grave. That's kind of morbid.
Harmless little Leo.
Oh, little baby.
All right, enough of this.